creepy and cool TikToks that will blow your mind. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Disclaimer: this video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research, as these clips haven't been fact-checked.
This is a single goblin shark sea monster. And here's one. Great white shark and a Leeds ichthys.
Wow.
Megalodon, whale shark, blue whale,
Ooh.
bloop.
Bloop.
And finally, I bet you can't subscribe fast enough, an El Gran Maja.
I think Megalodon should be bigger than all of those except for the, Bloop and Grand Maha. What do you think? Oh my goodness. Where is this? Philippines? Oh, Vietnam. Or Thailand. How does it get to this point? And who's the person that kept bringing her food?
What did the United States do to become as large as it is today? The United States became independent from the United Kingdom in 1776. After that, they wanted to expand their territory westward. First, they purchased the Louisiana Territory from France for $15 million in 1803.
From French?
In 1819, they signed the Adams-Onis Treaty with Spain. In this treaty, Spain ceded Florida to the United States, and the United States compensated Spain with $5 million. In 1836, the United States helped Texas break away from Mexico, and in 1845, they annexed Texas into their territory. Just 1 year later, they signed the Oregon Treaty with the United Kingdom, dividing the territory along the 49th parallel, with the north going to the UK and the south to the United States. From 1846 to 1848, the United States went to war with Mexico and won. Afterward, they took over half of Mexico's territory and paid Mexico $15 million in compensation. In 1867, Russia unexpectedly sold Alaska to the U.S. for $7.2 million, making it one of the most profitable deals in U.S. history. Finally, they annexed Hawaii into their territory in 1903 after overthrowing the Hawaiian Kingdom.
Why would Russia, give up Alaska? Ooh, what's that? Possibly a very old sturgeon? How did NASA got picture of the Milky Way if NASA didn't even explore beyond the solar system? So who took a picture of Earth? NASA?
She puts the tissue by the cat's nose. This is something every cat owner should know about. And she begins to spin the tissue, and a yellow substance begins to come out.
Ugh.
Cats can get stuff stuck in their noses, especially when they have an infection. So when the owner saw that something was wrong, she wasted
Is that
no
a
time
worm?
trying to get it out. But it makes
Mucus?
the mucus turn into a stretchy yellow string that just never ends.
Ugh.
So the cat has to remain still in order for it to be fully removed, or else it won't be able to fully breathe.
Ooh. So that's the whole brain of the cat gone.
The secret is to be grateful for your life and for what you have. You have no idea how lucky you are to look the way you look now and to be the way you are. And you are perfect just the way you are. Who cares? Let it go. And when you're young, that is so hard because you really don't know who you are yet. And you don't usually have the mature self-confidence to be strong enough to believe that you are unique and you are special. But don't worry what other people think.
Right.
Don't wish your life away. And what do I mean by that? Don't spend your days wishing, oh, I wish I could have more money. Oh, I wish I could travel. Oh, I wish this would go away. Oh, I wish when I was younger I should have made a different decision in my life. All of those things are true, and all of those things we can do, and I'm sure most of us do them, but it's a waste of time.
Yep.
Stop comparing yourself to others.
It's just like talking to her younger self.
City killer asteroid has caused NASA to make an emergency decision, and scientists suggest NASA has left it too late to deflect the asteroid. Astronomers have predicted that the asteroid 2024 YR4 has a 2.3% chance of colliding with Earth in 2032. As the risk increases, a team of astronomers have been granted use of the James Webb Space Telescope to determine just how much damage the space rock would cause. The best estimate currently suggests that the asteroid is up to 300 feet wide, which is around the same size as the Statue of Liberty, or London's Big Ben. With this being said, the impact the asteroid could cause is 100 times more powerful than the nuclear bomb which was dropped on Hiroshima at the end of World War II.
Just tell us where it will hit. So will it only hit USA like in the movies?
This every single day before you go to bed, and this happens. You will reduce the stress hormones in your body, and that means that you will improve the quality of your sleep. You will get rid of negative thoughts, negative emotions, and energy blocks. And you will wake up with more energy the next morning. And now leave me a high level down below in the comments for more information.
You know what you should do every time before you go to bed? Pray and be thankful. Ooh. Oh, phone. Stop, drop, and roll. No way. No way. AI pulling pranks now?
Oh my god! And I start hearing him screaming and calling me the C word. This man is trying to scare me. Hey, film this! Roll your window down! I cracked the window enough so where I could hear what he's saying. You cut me off, you dirty little. I was incredibly confused. No, I didn't. I didn't cut you off. I had no clue why he was so angry. You filming this?
As if the insults aren't scary enough, they quickly escalate to blatant threats.
I'm gonna follow you wherever you go. And what are you gonna do about it? I'm gonna kick out of you. I'm gonna hold my foot down on your throat until you grasp for air.
What? Did he get arrested?
When you look at this picture, I want to ask you, is the horse walking forward or he's walking back?
Let me see.
Ready.
I can't tell.
What?
It's like he's moving forward and back though.
No way!
He's like going like this.
No, he's not! You're weird!
Why?
You're weird! Cause me, I only see it as backwards. And my sister only sees it as moving forwards.
No, he's taking a step forward and then going like this.
Yo, that's weird. That's weird.
Look, the front leg. Look at the front leg. Is he not moving forward?
No, he's moving back, fam.
Nah, the back. When I look at the back, yeah, he's moving back. When I look at
you're weird. Nah, you're weird.
No, it looks almost as if the front torso is going forward and then the back one's moving backwards.
Nah, that's actually...
So it's like it's holding him back like this.
Nah, that's actually crazy. Cause like if you see the horse, it says walking forward, you're left brain. If you see the horse walking backwards, you're right brain. You see the horse walking back and forth.
Backward, fam.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that they literally confiscated a human egg farm yesterday?
Yep.
With all of the Super Bowl
True
and all that
story.
kind of stuff being talked about, no one is talking about the fact that they literally rescued 100 women that were forced to donate eggs. This happened in, I want to say, Georgia. It was a program that was happening that they listed on Facebook Marketplace advertising surrogate services. So basically you become a surrogate and you get paid a pretty decent amount of money for it, right? Now these women went to this facility that happened to be an egg farming facility, and they were completely blindsided. They began to house these women in very unsafe environments and force them to do egg retrieval services for very, very cheap to no price, pay. And they just rescued 100 women from Thailand that were being forced to donate eggs. This is literally The Handmaid's Tale in real life.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's not even on the news.
Subject of pocket money. What do you do with your 25 pence?
Buy some comics and sweets. Sometimes I save some. I'm 11 in October, and every day I get 5 pence, but sometimes I keep it at home and I go up the shops to my sister because she gives me 11 pence worth of sweets for nothing.
Are you happy with just getting 20 pence a week?
Yeah.
Well, what do you do with it?
Well, I usually save it up and keep it when I have to buy it for my brothers and when it's their birthday and Christmas and other times. And I sometimes buy myself a comic, sometimes there's sweets.
So you do quite nice things with your pocket money then, don't you? Yeah. Didn't seem to spend very much of it on yourself.
Well, I give some of it to my mum and she gives it to the charity.
How about you?
I get 18 pence a day.
18 pence a day? Yeah. Is that just pocket money or does that include dinner money?
No, it's just for my sweets. I get, 50 pence a week pocket money as well, and I get 18 pence for sweets.
Every day?
Yeah.
How old are you?
9.
So that means you get about £1.50 a week?
Yeah.
What do you think is the right amount to have?
About 70 to about £1.
That's still an awful lot of money, you know.
It's 50 less.
Good point. Yeah, I'll take your point.
Proper London accent, I think.
We also wanted to let you know this as well, that President Trump has cut off aid to South Africa, sharing this message on social media saying, quote, South Africa is confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. It is a bad situation that the radical left media doesn't want to so much as mention. A massive human rights violation is happening for all to see. The United States won't stand for it. We will act. Also, because of this, I will be cutting off all aid to South Africa until further notice. President Trump making that announcement today ahead of his travels to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
The boss is back.
I'm really starting to feel bad for Kodak, y'all. Maybe something did happen to him while he was in prison. Because this man is not normal no more. This is not the Kodak I'm used to. The Kodak I've been seeing is the one that looked like he was perked up. And he never came back down, y'all. It's a sad sight to see for real. And then the people around him, they don't care about him either. They just record when he acting strange. Y'all, look at this video. And y'all tell me, is this the Kodak y'all know? Your man's is tweaking out, eating chicken.
Free advertisement, you over there recording the wrong thing. Take a seat next to him, take a seat
Look
next
at
to
him,
him.
y'all.
Enjoy that phone, enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, better.
Shit sad, man. He said, Yabba Dabba Doo. Now, y'all cannot tell me that's the normal Kodak. This man was yapping like Yabba Dabba Doo. Y'all seen all the head movements and shit. Come on, y'all. He tweaking. Y'all, pray for Kodak, man.
Do not do this TikTok trend.
Wait, which one?
The trend started in Japan when kids would take a Band-Aid and draw a diagonal line on it, like this. Then they would put it on their hand and fall asleep. While sleeping, they would dream of being in a maze.
Well, you should let me try, bro. You know I'm the best at corn maze.
No, if you don't escape the maze, you don't wake up.
Well, how hard is the maze?
Well, normally mazes start you on one side and you have to exit on the other, which means you can easily get out using a method called wall following. Enter the maze, put your hand on the right wall, and follow the wall all the way until you exit. But the maze in this stream is different. This maze is actually a labyrinth, which means it's circular and you start in the middle. So wall following won't work. You have to rely on your instincts, and you only have 46 minutes.
I will try it today. I will reply tomorrow.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said fuck rappers and all that, but right now I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like, we can't, I know y'all think I'm crashing out and shit, but y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself, I'm cathartic and shit. And look, man, please don't, I know I said a lot of shit, man, just let me go down there and go help this man out. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna be down there. I'm about to get my flight right now.
It just goes to show, you know, no matter how much money you still have struggles.
2 New South Wales health nurses have been identified after they were stood down over a shocking video where they said they wouldn't treat Jews on their ward and threatened to kill them.
I have a question though.
This is crazy.
All right, for sure. I have a question though. Let's say an Israeli, God forbid.
I won't treat them. I'll kill them.
You'll kill them? So if an Israeli is in Australia and God forbid something happened to him and he comes to your hospital, would you kill him?
You have no idea how many Israeli Kharadok came to this hospital and I sent them to Jahannam.
For real?
Nurses Rashad Nadir and Sarah Abulebde from Bankstown Hospital in Sydney's West were filmed by a popular Jewish influencer who released the video on social media. Nadir is believed to have been born in Afghanistan and gained Australian citizenship 4 years ago, having immigrated at the age of 12. In addition to his role at Bankstown Hospital, Nadir also works at Observatory Hill Medical Centre in Sydney's CBD. When 7 News confronted him at his home in Western Sydney today, he covered his head in shame. Ms. Abulebde has reportedly been working with New South Wales Health for several years. Health Minister Ryan Park confirmed at a press conference on Wednesday morning that both have been stood down while New South Wales Health investigates. If the investigation concludes that this behaviour has occurred, these individuals will never be working for New South Wales Health again, Mr. Park said. He labelled the pair disgusting and deranged individuals, and that view is not welcome and will not be welcome ever again in New South Wales Health as an employee. Deputy Israeli Foreign Minister Sharon Haskell took to X to back calls for an investigation into the pair. They are expressing criminal intent towards Jewish people. This must be stopped. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese labelled the behaviour sickening and shameful. The comments are vile, driven by hate, have no place in our health system and no place anywhere in Australia.
Just wondering how many more others have the same ideology that are working in health. You know, not just in Australia, perhaps around the world as well.
What was the detox like from fentanyl?
Well, first off, my dad had to scoop me up and carry me in physically. My legs were in so much pain that I couldn't walk. I would try to walk and I would just collapse on the floor. You finally get into detox and you think that they can give you meds right away, and you know, they can give you comfort meds. But I was coming off of almost a 3-year run of straight heroin and fentanyl.
Oof.
You know, that was what was in my body. My body was not made up of food and water and all of that. I was 90 pounds soaking wet. 90 pounds, I will repeat that, 90 pounds, when my whole life I had been like much bigger. Like at my highest, I was 160 pounds at one point. And it's funny when I watch people talk about fentanyl detox, because you look at these people like they're already in recovery. So they're, you know, the color has come back in their face. They look pretty. Their eyes are lit up. You know, they're the color they're supposed to be. The darkness isn't there anymore. And I'm like, yeah, but how bad could it have been? And then I went through it, and looking at me now, you would never, ever in a million years think that I was down that bad. I had no idea where I was. I was in such a psychosis that I was telling people at the treatment center that I had a son. He was 7 years old. I had complete details about him. I don't know who he is. I've never had a son. I don't have kids. I told them I got my GED from high school, which I graduated high school. I never got a GED. I was convinced my parents were there. I heard them. I had auditory and visual hallucinations.
Yep.
Yeah. So I was hearing complete words, like complete sentences, and I was talking to them too. And I don't mean to laugh, but it's like thinking about it now, once you're out of that psychosis and the people tell you the things you were saying, it's like, where did that even come from? But I will tell you, it is the most painful. Like, you think you get sick from the flu and mono and all of those things, that takes a backseat to fentanyl.
But look at you now, lady. You look fresh. You know God loves you. Ooh.
Behind the black bear's backside, there's this long white string dragging behind it. It looks like it's at least 6 to 10 feet long, and the poor bear is clearly uncomfortable. It's doing everything it can to get rid of it, but just can't seem to succeed. What's even crazier is that brown bears aren't safe from this either. Some of the smarter brown bears have figured out they can ask humans for help, though most people are too scared to assist. Now, I'll admit, My inner perfectionist really wants to step in and just step on those white lines. That'd make it so much easier to pull it out. But what exactly are these white lines? Turns out, every year when the salmon come back to spawn, the local bears dive into a giant feast. Salmon, full of nutrients and tasty as can be, are a prized catch. But wild fish, unfortunately, can carry a bunch of parasites. These parasites end up multiplying inside the bear's stomachs, and, well, they show up as those long white strings trailing behind them. So looks like eating raw fish comes with some serious risks. Be careful, everyone.
You know, many people have them without knowing.
Why did every major phone company switch to non-removable batteries at the same time? Do you ever think about that? They will tell you it's about making phones slimmer, more waterproof, but really it's about taking away your control. Back in the day, you could pop the battery out and boom. No power, no tracking, no eavesdropping. But now, hit that power button all you want, it's still on. It's still listening. Think about it, alarms still work when your phone is off. App updates sneak in overnight. And what about airplane mode? Well, it turns out that's just a placebo. Your phone is always alive, always connected, and this wasn't just one company's idea. Every major brand, every model shifted at the same time. Not one gave us a choice. Now, why did this happen? Because the system needed it. It's all about control. They've created a device you carry willingly, one that tracks your every move, listens to your conversations, and beams it back to who? You don't know. And that's the scariest part. The tech didn't evolve to serve us. It evolved to watch us, and we just went along with it, didn't we? No questions, no pushback, just acceptance. This is just a theory, not a fact.
Make a little box from copper, put the phone in there, no signal, no nothing. I saw it in the movie.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. X, are you okay? This is X, and he's a great guy, high IQ.
High IQ.
High IQ individual.
And he's got this, check out this cool chain he's got. How great is that for the average
High
American?
IQ picking his nose.
We had no idea. We had no idea we were going to find this much.
As I mentioned earlier, really, the first order of business is to make sure we're actually collecting. Sorry for this. I thought my son might enjoy this, but he's sticking his fingers in my ears and stuff. So it's a bit hard to hear sometimes. Hey, stop that. It's essential for America to remain solvent as a country, and it's essential for America to have the resources necessary to provide things to its citizens and not simply be servicing vast amounts of debt.
Elon Musk's obsession with the letter X is so unbelievable weird.
Now we know why the Chiefs lost. Someone used a voodoo doll against them at the Super Bowl. This whole thing is crazy. And suddenly, Mahomes wasn't himself. He looked off the entire time. The Chiefs weren't playing like the team we know. Mahomes has never been swept before, until now. I felt it while watching. I'm not even a Chiefs fan. I was rooting for the Eagles. But something about Mahomes' energy was just wrong. He was missing plays he normally wouldn't, making mistakes that felt unnatural. Why is Mahomes playing like this? The whole team feels off, but especially Mahomes. At first I thought I was overreacting, but then, this morning, I see it all over Twitter. A woman in the stadium holding a voodoo doll during the game, and suddenly, it all clicked. Now, I know not everyone believes in this stuff, but let's be real. This is New Orleans, one of the most infamous cities for voodoo and dark rituals. Coincidence? Maybe. But with everything that happened in that game, I don't think so. So now I have questions. Who is this woman? Did she actually curse Mahomes? And if she did, how deep does this go? What do y'all think? Let's talk about it.
I think you will need a body part of the person, like, blood, hair, eyebrow, eyelash, in order to do a voodoo doll. Once again, I saw it in the movie. Ooh. Airplane, UFO. Is that alien?
Giants
Alright.
of Solomon Islands.
World War II. The Japanese have invaded Pearl Harbor.
Started taking over the Solomon Islands because they were going to be a pivotal region of islands to cut off trades. They're just trying to take over the whole Pacific at this point. And then the U.S. came, and they came to Guadalcanal, and there was no Japanese to be seen. So they were coming in thinking that it was going to be like a
ambush.
They just pulled up to the beach like, where are all the Japanese? What the locals had said was that these Japanese were picked off by giants. It turns out all the Japanese soldiers were in the woods. A lot of Japanese soldiers surrendered, which is not what they would do at that time, because the Japanese said that survival after defeat was a disgrace. But they surrendered because they were apparently so freaked out of what was happening. So at night, these giant men, which were reported to be 8 to 15 feet tall, just eat the Japanese soldiers, rip them apart, and just eat them. This place was kind of like how Papua New Guinea was. Solomon Islands were probably even worse. Cannibalism, headhunters, all these different tribes at constant war with each other. When they were killed, they were bring them back, eat them, bad stuff.
Have you ever heard your name just out of nowhere and you're like, yo, wait, did my mom call me? You go to your mom, she's not the one who called you.
Yeah, all the time, bro, yeah.
Or your little sister, or your brother, or your older brother. So the scary way of looking at it, and the scary way that people think of it, is that it's actually demons trying to take your soul and trying to bring you into a different dimension. Or it could also be an evil entity in the house itself. It's trying to fuck with you. But then there's another way of looking at it, or somebody in your family in dear need of help, and it's their soul literally reaching out to you in the spirit world.
Yo, I got the fucking chills, bro. What the that's actually like a really, really
interesting way of seeing it.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that.
Like on some telepathic
Yeah.
bro. Some other people are also saying that it's your spirit guides and stuff like that. So there's many ways of seeing that, but I know a lot of people have experienced the whole hearing your name and you're just like, what the
I remember one time, right? So I was home alone. I think I was in a room playing video games or something like that. I forgot what it was. And then I hear the door open. Because I used to have bells on my door. But I heard the bells. And I heard, like, my mom usually ends up greeting my dog with, like, a baby voice. Like, hi, Rocky. Like stuff like that.
No way, you...
And I heard her say, hi, Rocky. But, like, no one was there.
Oh, that's scary.
When I heard it, I thought it was my mom. But after a while, I noticed that there was no more noise. So I went to the living room. Rocky was in his bed sleeping. And nobody was home.
That's scary, bro.
Like, I know I didn't hear my name, but I heard like my mom's voice say like, hi, Rocky.
That's weird, bro. Imagine it even scarier, bro.
That's weird, bro.
Rocky, and then instead of like...
This chilling security footage was the last time 8-year-old Relisha Rudd was seen.
Oh my goodness.
And at the end of that month, the man that was seen with her would be found dead. On March 1st, 2014, this 8-year-old girl named Relisha Rudd disappeared from a homeless shelter in Washington, D.C. At the time, she had been living there with her mother, Shamika Young. The janitor at the homeless shelter was a man named Khalil Tatum. Khalil, at the time of these events, was a convicted felon. He had previously been convicted of breaking and entering, burglary, and larceny. And he had been reprimanded in the past because he had developed multiple relationships with young girls that were staying at the homeless shelter. Young girls as in children. Khalil, the janitor, took an interest in Relisha. He began buying her gifts and taking her to shows like Disney on Ice. And at one point, Relisha's mother, Shamika, actually let Khalil take her out of the homeless shelter to spend a night with him. Eventually, Relisha stopped attending school, and when the school asked Relisha's mother where she was, she claimed that her daughter was under the care of Dr. Tatum, and the janitor's name was Khalil Tatum. On March 1st, 2014, Relisha disappeared. And the investigation showed that the last time that Relisha was seen was on that security camera footage taken in a local hotel, where she was seen with Khalil the janitor. On the same day that Relisha was reported missing, Khalil's wife was found murdered in a local motel. And just a week and a half later, Khalil's body was found in a local park. He had taken his own life with the same weapon that he used to end his wife's life. To this day, no trace of Relisha has ever been discovered.
What?
People have no idea if she is dead or alive. There's been no trace of her, no clothing found, and no developments since 2014. It's believed by many people that she may be alive, so this is what she may look like if she is still alive amongst us today. But sadly, the real truth was taken to the grave by the homeless shelter's janitor, Khalil. This story is just absolutely unbelievable, but people think that so many different things could have happened to Relisha. Some people believe that Khalil sold her into a sex trafficking ring. Others believe that Khalil may have been taking her out of the homeless shelter to pimp her to other men, and that he murdered his wife when she found out about what he was doing and how he was making this money. And other people even believe that his own brother-in-law may have been involved, and may have murdered him to keep him silent about what was really happening. But until some trace of Relisha is found, we will have no answers. If you want to listen to more true crime stories, listen to the podcast that I co-host with my wife, Courtney, Murder in America. It's available on all streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Poor baby girl. Rest in peace, Angel. What?
You know, cockroach milk is healthier than cow's milk.
Cockroach milk? No. I didn't even
No
know they
way.
like
It's more
had
nutritious.
milk.
It's more nutritious and healthier than cow's milk. Cockroach milk. Google it.
I
Search
mean, oh
it
yeah,
up.
well, I mean, people eat cockroaches. Is that the same shit?
No, milk.
No.
Milk.
Like they milk cockroaches.
I
and
didn't
drink
know
the
they
milk.
Milk cockroaches.
I know, that's a thing.
Yeah, so how do you
apparent-
get that?
Has more nutrition, has more like benefit of drinking that than cow's milk. Now check this out. Cow's milk we know is bad for us, right? But we still drink it. So let's say there was an ingredient that had the elixir of life, but it just came from something that just sounds so gross or crazy. Would you take it?
Yeah,
Because you know it's good for you?
Yeah.
But what if it's something like terribly disgusting? What if it like,
Oh, it's like-
what if it like, just imagine like the dirtiest person you know, and then
You have
they
to
spit
drink
it out of their, you have to drink it out of their mouth. And that's the only way
Get
but
the-
you'll be able to like live your best life health-wise.
I mean, that's like medicine right now. Like, no one likes to taste the medicine, but we still drink it.
Sometimes medicine tastes good. They have the banana flavor
Yeah, I know.
or the cherry flavor.
Blindfolded, you would have to like plug my nose, then I would drink it. Yeah.
So you would take it or no?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
If it heals me, man.
I feel like I would take anything as long as like there is an actual benefit. Even I just want to know the truth.
I'll take it, but only if it's one time. One time only, I'll take it.
Padre Pio had this prophecy. He talks about these 3 days of darkness that is going to come right before the Lord comes. It was one of the most terrifying things I've ever read. And like, it shook me. So he talks about these 3 days of darkness and the Lord being basically fed up with the sins of man. Like, and he urges everyone, all the believers, to barricade themselves inside, close their windows, shut their doors, and don't exit the house for 3 days. Fire will rain down. There'll be poisonous gases. It kind of sounds like a nuclear fallout a little bit, you know? But he said the War of 1950 shall be the introduction to these things. That was the start of the Korean War. So it was a separation of North Korea and South Korea. They got the bombs.
What does that look like? What does being prepared for that look like?
Watching ninjas or butterflies. No, I'm totally joking.
I think it's not almost a readiness is almost if you're a believer, then that means do what you can to fulfill what you believe your calling is. And so like in baskets,
it's the live like you were dying.
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw. That's what you should be doing. Thinking that the end is near.
Yeah.
Kind of live your life like the end is near, you know?
Well, in just over 24 hours, Ottawa could get hit with the biggest snowstorm since 2022. A winter storm warning is now in effect, with Environment Canada calling for up to 40 centimeters of snow starting tomorrow night and continuing into Thursday.
Travel is really going to be absolutely treacherous at times. It might not fall all equally over the whole overnight period. There's going to be times when you could see up to 5 centimeters falling within 1 hour.
And the city is gearing up to clear streets.
In total, we go through probably average about 180,000 tons of salt.
This dome holds about 2,500 tons of salt when it's fully loaded. And these trucks will be out moving as much snow as they can, trying to keep up with the accumulation.
Really, our planning right now process is making sure we have all of our equipment ready, our materials ready, making sure our staff are all ready to work for night shift and day shift. And really, it's just monitoring that storm.
And just as one storm ends, another major snowfall is expected this weekend.
Does it bother you? And I looked at her and asked what, and she said, does it bother you that he's here? So I walk into the stockroom looking for something, and then I hear whispers. Several voices talking all at once. Like they were folding over one another. Right here. And I just froze.
Are you certain that this is in that room with you?
A noise from next door wouldn't have had me in a chokehold. And it wasn't the only time.
A few days later, Sybil is back upstairs in the stockroom.
I'm looking at the rail in front of me. And then I hear whispers again. But this time, what I hear is, Sybil.
You hear your name?
And this feeling of terror comes over you. Your hair stands up everywhere and you're frozen and you can't breathe.
Are you totally sure it was your name?
Not many people are called Sybil. It's very difficult to not hear it when it's said. It was definitely my name.
Sybil has been shaken. Who is this voice in that empty stockroom? And then, not long after, on a quiet Monday afternoon.
Sheila and I were in the back room sorting through some things. Out the corner of my eye, I can see the staircase coming down from the parlour. Sheila is sat with her back to the staircase. And as we're sorting things, chatting, I see on the stairs, very distinctly, a figure come down the stairs, and he stands on the bottom step, just a moment.
Ooh.
And turns out of sight behind the wall. My first thought was that somebody upstairs in our stockrooms?
You think this is just a bloke that's walked into the shop?
It was so real to me that I instantly jumped up, went and unlocked the locked back door, and went out into the alleyway and had a look up and down, even though there was no way that that person that I saw could have gone out that door. It was locked. And I silently just went and knelt back down, just in utter shock. And Sheila turns to me quietly and says,
The show is called Uncanny.
Y'all see that another area is experiencing blood rain. The Lord is literally revealing Himself to us. The earth is speaking. The beach is in Hamas Island in Iran. And y'all, this shit, you cannot make it up. I'm gonna show y'all the video. I just need y'all to sit here and think for a second. This is not normal, but I'm sure it's about to become normal. So they try to say, oh nah, this is a natural phenomenon. It just rarely happens. They say it's because it's a high concentration of iron oxide in the soil. But I don't know, y'all. Just look at this video. That shit is red as fuck. Look at it, y'all.
What is that?
They say this is a natural occurrence, but I don't think so. Look at that shit. Just pouring down, y'all. Going straight into the ocean.
You know, funny how zero news reporters reporting on this. Sun Tzu. You know, the Mongols Empire wasn't the biggest empire through history. It was the British Empire.
People have asked me, do I use Moldavite? Oh, I would love to use Moldavite, but it's very expensive. There's only one place on earth where you can get it from, and that's from a place in Czechoslovakia. It's used as a gemstone, so they polish it and use it on rings and lockets, and it comes from a meteorite that impacted the earth, and it's a type of tektite for those who are scientifically oriented. It has incredibly powerful energy, strong extraterrestrial and cosmic energy combined, and it interacts with the Earth's vibrational frequency in such a way that it makes it very attractive. It would be wonderful if we could add a little piece into every orgone generator, but it's just not viable. The expense, you know, and it's hard to get. So the jewelers are buying it up mostly, and since it only comes from one place in Czechoslovakia, and the demand is so crazy, and every year more and more people become aware of it, of its beneficial properties, the demand increases and hence the price increases. So using it for orgone generators is not feasible. But that's okay. There are other things we can use.
This is
I heard bad stories from people wearing Moldavite.
one of the first tornadoes that ever killed storm chasers, and specifically this killed Twist X. I'm pretty sure you've probably seen it, even though if you don't recognize the name Twist X, you probably see multiple YouTube videos of them going out recording tornadoes and getting mad close to the tornadoes. Also keep in mind that there's no actual footage or audio that was released of the Twist X team, but for the people that did see the footage and hear the footage, they did make a transcript of the dialogue that was said as the team was hit by the tornado. And the crazy thing is too, bro, it's like a butterfly effect, because there was 3 storm chasers. It was Twist X, Dan Robinson, and some other tour group that were going in the same direction that Twist X was going. And they got to a point in their intersection when they either had to go left, right, or straight. Twist X and Dan Robinson, they ended up going straight, while the tour group also went straight, but then they ended up coming back. The tour group survived, and the Twist X team died. Yo.
Yeah. The tornado is about 500 yards away. I can't talk right now. So this is the highway.
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to...
Just keep going.
They were unaware that over the past 60 seconds,
Shit.
it had simultaneously expanded from 1 to over 2 miles wide.
Now I see it. Well, maybe I don't.
It's like it's just a bunch of rain here.
The Cobalt struggled to maintain speed on the gravel road while being buffeted by 100-mile-per-hour wind. A few moments later, the group could be heard over the radio by Oklahoma Highway Patrol. They were screaming, "We're going to die," as they were impacted by a powerful sub-vortex. The vehicle was thrown half a mile and left unrecognizable.
Yeah. I hope to never experience a tornado in my life.
So, like 100 years plus?
Yes.
Probably more.
Way more, yeah, absolutely. And that's a lot to do with, it's the blood. It's being able to, you can just change your blood again, or you can take somebody else's blood and maintain youth, keep maintaining youth. But what they're desperately after is the Holy Grail, which is which is the Priory of Sion protected for the longest time. You can get hold of that, that's eternal life. But the Holy Grail is really blood. It's blood from a certain stream.
I mean, the Ark of the Covenant.
That's a different thing, yes.
Gold holds the souls.
Yes, and gold is soul energy, yes.
Gold is soul energy?
Yes. The more gold you have, the more soul energy you've got.
Right.
That's why they're obsessed with it.
It's very interesting. Somebody I know recently had a lot of really yellow gold, really good pure gold.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, very powerful stuff.
Yeah. Okay, you haven't really mentioned, we mentioned, is there any...
Max Pius definitely knew too much.
So let's talk about the benefits of sperm retention. I didn't say sex. No, have all the sex you want. There's nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with just hugging somebody that you love, spending the evening together, holding hands. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? But retain it. There's only one, there's 2 purposes, and I'll get to that in a moment. Okay, so I highlight the ones that I think are important. But there are some others. How about more energy? More confidence, happier, highly motivated to succeed, highly motivated to do more, increased muscle mass. What happens to older men as they get older? They lose body mass. More alpha male behaviors. More respect from men. Absolutely. And respect for men. Improved memory. Better sex. Absolutely. Stronger. High sex drive. Improved immunity and increased stamina. Hold on to it. But here's the other ones. I think they're important. It might be important for you. How about less depressed?
What?
Less anxiety. What are you on? You're having sex, but you're on anxiety medication. Really? How about try 7-over-10 for a while? Increase social skills. Not afraid to go out and meet people. Why are young men so shy? Because they're embarrassed. Highly motivated to approach real women. Yeah. Increased fat loss. Improved workouts. Improved sporting performance. Deep voice. Improved skin. Thicker hair. You ever wonder why your hair is you're losing your hair? Increased hair. Facial. Body hair. Less sleep required. Sometimes I only need 3-4 hours sleep. It's crazy. Brighter eyes, clearer skin, improved body language, increased attention for women, If you're holding it, what do you, women, by the way, and this is, you just do your own research. If you're holding your semen in, women are attracted to you on a subconscious level. It is freaking amazing. I mean, I can't tell you, they all talk about it. You know, I've been married for 35 years. I'm happily married, but man, please stop it, you know? No more. Bigger, longer penis, right? Absolutely. Aloof attitude. Aloof attitude. Let's talk about aloof attitude just for a second. When you seek an immortal life and a life extension, you're no longer what? I need it now. Hey, you know what? I go see that movie when there's not so many people. Hey, you know what? I'm not in such a hurry anymore. If you knew that you were going to live longer than 65 or 75, would you be a little bit more relaxed about things? Huh? I have no time clock on my hand. I feel it's up to God. Guide me. Absolutely. If I could live 120, would I live 120? I don't say it. Would I live 120? 150? Yeah, I'll do it again. Have a great time. But what do we know about people who were mortal in the past? They had to flee. Right? And I'm prepared to do that. You should be as well. If time, I think the attitude I've been told, the time is now to release this information. Okay, I'll release it. But what happens if tide turns and they say this information is no longer wanted? They come after you. You might have to hide. Absolutely. Masons have done that in the past, and we'll do that in the future. Right? Absolutely. How about controlled aggression? Whatever. I'm fine. And mental powers are acute. I mean, I can't sleep at night because my mind is going 100 miles an hour. Improve relationships, absolutely. My relationship has never been better.
Let me know how you feel about this in the comment.
Seen these hieroglyphics of these ancient civilizations all over the world holding a pine cone in a handbag.
No.
These symbols have these depictions of the Anunnaki. Do we know what the Anunnaki are?
No.
The Anunnaki were godlike people that came to Earth and gave us all this knowledge. They believe that the pine cone is representing the transfer of knowledge of the creation of life and of human enlightenment. And then the handbag represents the knowledge of tools needed to create these things.
Got it.
There's a carving in this temple wall of the Anunnaki and stuff, doing the pine cone, and then right in front of them are like two looking men that are giant, holding like scepters, like they're making their offspring kings, and they're all standing before what is carved to be like the tree of life.
Yeah.
And then above it is an Anunnaki in this like vehicle that has like wings on it. But what I thought was weird was at the Vatican, they have this giant statue of a pine cone.
Really?
And then on the Pope's staff, at the base of it, it's a pine cone.
Where did he get food and water from?
And you're not thinking right now. You're following orders. You're not thinking for yourself. You're not in touch with your soul. Because if you were, you would take that off and you would breathe freely, which is the #1 form of nutrition. And if you don't have proper oxygen, you can't have cognitive function. And if you can't think right, you're easily pushed around and controlled and manipulated.
Somebody
Is that Rob Zombie?
like a rat inside their energy drink.
Like a monster?
Yeah.
Or what?
No. So it was I think it was like this company called Alani. They're still trying to figure out if like the rat was placed or its thing. But the girl posted on TikTok and the can was sealed right in the video. So she cuts it open and there's nothing but that rat in it.
So
like a dead
there's
one,
no
yeah.
like energy drink.
No energy drink. So it's just like
Bro
a
probably
dead
drank it. He's probably thirsty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So people are scared because there's new videos coming out. We don't know if this is true or false, but Red Bull now starting to have
rats,
in their drinks.
Ew.
So it's like, yo, what's going on? And everybody's saying like, if you even drink something with like what do you call this, an animal in it, you can catch like a rat fever.
There's like bubonic plague from that.
Exactly. And that's death, fam. Like there's no going back.
They call that the Black Death.
Yeah,
for real.
yeah.
That's what they called it in history.
Yeah, I know. And the government's not doing nothing about it. There's no recalls yet, but like I think Alani right now is searching into it.
When I tell you the world is so scary for women, this is what I'm talking about. A woman had been missing since 2017, okay? 7 years since she had been missing. Was found in a hotel room after screaming and crying for help, and they heard her from outside the motel room, and rescue her. This is actually a heartbreaking, but it's a good ending story. So basically, this was in Detroit. I believe it was in Inkster. And this woman had been missing for a long time, like I said, since 2017. And her family thought that she potentially had been ST'd. And they had, for a long time been searching for her. But with things the way they were, they said that they didn't have any leads or anything like that. Now, for whatever reason, this woman was able to get a hold of a phone and call her stepmother and let her know where she was at. She didn't know exactly where she was at, but she knew she was in a motel, and she knew she was in Inkster, Michigan. Now, they found all kinds of things in the hotel room, drugs, cell phones, all kinds of things. And there has been a suspect identified. The Michigan Trafficking and Abduction Group are also involved in this as well, because they believe it might have something to do with human trafficking. Okay?
Drake is going to jail, bro. I don't know if y'all heard about this top 5 situation, bro, but this is exactly what Whack 100 warned Drake about. Check this out.
It's been in existence about 90 days, and I have made sure it hasn't went anywhere. Personally, I think you know what I'm talking about. That dude with his mouth and the things he says does not support your career and how far you come. I'm telling you.
This was weeks ago, and Drake did not separate himself, bro. As a matter of fact, I just dropped a YouTube video breaking down how this could lead to Drake going to jail. And this is not no clickbait or nothing like that. It's real info in this video. Click the link in my bio and check it out.
In between Malachi and Matthew, you have about 400 years. And these are sometimes referred to as the 400 years of silence. They weren't silent. There was lots of writing going on. And the books that were being written during that time by the Jewish people are these books like Tobit and 1st, 2nd, 3rd Maccabees. And these are books that the Jews knew about, that the Jews read, that the Jews thought were useful, but they were never considered scripture by the Jewish people. And so because they were never considered scripture by the Jewish people, when it came to the discussions of whether they should be included or not, we do have Paul in Romans saying that the Jews were entrusted with the oracles of God. And so you had individuals like Jerome in the 4th century, who actually is commissioned to translate the Latin Vulgate. So the Bible, when it was translated from Greek and Hebrew into Latin, and that Latin became the Bible of the church, that was done by a guy named Jerome. And Jerome, if you read about his kind of justifications and arguments when he's going through this translation process, he never thought those other books were scripture. In fact, it appears that the only reason he included them eventually in the Latin Vulgate was because of the influence of Augustine, who disagreed with him, and a lot of peer pressure. And so he ends up caving and including them. But he's very clear. These were not considered scripture by the Jews. And so let's stick with the oracles of God that were entrusted to the people of God. We know what the Bible looked like in Jesus's day, the Old Testament. It didn't include these other books. And so during the Reformation, there really is no consensus on the Old Testament canon of scripture in this way. There's lots of disagreements. In fact, Pope Gregory the Great did not believe that Maccabees was scripture. So it's not like these were always in the Bible and the Protestants came around and took them out.
Antarctica is actually Atlantis. Yeah, well, Plato talks about how they were just so technologically advanced. Just have fun for a second. Yeah. Antarctica, what if that was Atlantis? And Atlantis was a empire that was waging war on all the other empires. And the god decided to flood it because of their evilness. So could it be that Atlantis had the technology of the Watchers, where they were technologically advanced, and God wiped them out, put them on the bottom of the earth, But could there still be remnants like the Göbekli Tepe, but like more preserved because it's been under ice for thousands and thousands of years, and then they discovered it? That's why no one can name claim to it, because if you do, you have all the control. What if there are actual ancient civilizations still living on Antarctica that are still technologically advanced, and the countries around the world are given permission to be there? That's why no country has taken possession of Antarctica.
We are all in danger. It is evil itself.
Oh, that is so haunting.
And he deleted the tweet.
That's so scary.
Dude. I think Atlantis was our world before the flood. What do you think?
Exploring the Antarians, Part 1. There's a powerful alien race watching us, but they rarely make contact. Who are they? The Antarians, a mysterious extraterrestrial race said to originate from Antares, a red supergiant in the Scorpius constellation. Described as tall humanoids ranging from 7 to 12 feet, they supposedly have shimmering skin, elongated heads, and piercing eyes that radiate wisdom. Unlike other alien species, the Antarians are not known for frequent contact with humans. Instead, they are believed to be watchers, intermediaries, or even cosmic peacekeepers, observing interstellar affairs from the shadows. Some theories suggest they have been involved in ancient galactic conflicts, possibly opposing the reptilian Draconians. Could they be allies of humanity or something far beyond our understanding? What do you think? Are the Antarians real? Let me know in the comments. Follow for part 2.
Have you ever found it weird that there's an Egyptian pyramid on the US dollar bill, and on top of that, the Illuminati eye sits right at the top? If you zoom in on the bill, you'll notice a lot of strange things. Devil-like faces, flying saucers, and there's even a hidden phrase written in tiny letters below the pyramid, carrying a terrifying message. It says, Novus Ordo Seclorum, which means New World Order. I bet you don't even know what that really means, yet countless politicians from all nations have already spoken about this New World Order. The truth is, for hundreds of years, a plan has been in motion, put in place by a family you all know, the family considered the most powerful in the world. They control everything around you from the shadows. Apparently, every year, they hold secret meetings with the leaders of each nation to track their progress on the plan, their ultimate goal, to fully dominate all nations, erase all religions, and create a single type of human, one that moves in the same direction, completely submissive to this elite. You need to wake up fast before it's too late.
Yes, a long time. That's the Rothschild.
Why the cartel, they fell on my lap. I had an agent out of Mexico City, and he was a bookie for me because I was running my sports betting operation. He says, hey, I got a VIP customer for you. I said, all right, well, let's bring it. This guy's betting like $10,000 a game. I'm like, man, you got a VIP customer. Let's see if he can pay. You know, he goes, don't worry, we're not going to have problems collecting it. And I remember come Monday, he was down like $220,000. Damn. Time to pay. And this bookie, the sub bookie, comes to me and he brings me a duffel bag, $220,000, takes his cut, and I'm like, man, this is a good customer. You mind telling me who it is? He goes, don't worry about it. It's none of your business. Next week, $400,000. Boom, gone. God damn, this guy's paying like clockwork. I said, this is a dream customer. I said, you need to keep this customer happy. Whatever he needs, we will provide. 10% off his losses, $50,000 free play. This guy's just a loser. He can't win. And then finally, week 3 comes around. It's Sunday night. There's a 5-team parlay, and I go, okay, this guy's finally going to crack me. You know, he needed the Raiders to cover the 3. And they won that game. And I remember I got on the phone real quick Sunday night, and I called this agent, and I said, hey, your dude, whoever he is, just hit us. He got it for like $280. I said, get your ass over here so I can give you the bag, and I want you to go Monday morning. I want you to pay him like clockwork, like he pays us. I said, Monday morning, I want you up in his door in Mexico by 8 a.m. Right when he wakes up, I want you to go, here you go, senor. And sure enough, he paid him on Monday. Fast forward to Tuesday, and I get a message from my sub bookie, and he says, hey, my uncle wants to speak to you. I'm like, your uncle? He goes, that's my customer. He goes, oh, he likes how you do business. He says he's never had someone pay him on a Monday like that, and he was very impressed how you work. I'm like, oh man. I said, whatever he wants. This bookie brings me a phone. I'm like, what the fuck's this? And it was an encrypted phone. And it was a phantom encrypted phone. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? He goes, there's no microphone, there's no GPS, all it is an encrypted phone. These things are like $1,000 a month.
Make a movie about this guy. You know, I just finished listening to the whole story. This guy is the real deal. Oh. You know, my mouth didn't have enough space for my wisdom teeth. I never had relief till they were gone.
Literally, everyone who went here left with demons, and this just happened. But this gets bizarre crazy, because what if I told you that The Weeknd has been hinting at something really big coming? And I'm being very serious. He's been pointing to this right here for months, and it is upon us. I just uncovered the end result. So right before I get into that, I noticed the comments in these videos were full of fear. That's the thing with demons. Even if you aren't scared of them, they can elicit fear in you. And it's a very unnatural fear. It's like you're laying in bed and this huge wave of fear randomly comes over you. That's the same exact fear that these demons will elicit. So do you remember his Ethiopian style concert? Remember this figure that was trying to break out while he was being the high priest of the sun, or Lucifer? And everything I'm showing you is coming off of his page. What do you know? It's the same exact person, but look at the third eye. The infinity symbol, or it's actually a common way to make the Ouroboros symbol, showing their supposed cycles of the earth and the end of the cycle. The serpent eating his own tail. You know who that serpent is, right? So you know who this is. Meaning the decoding for this concert I did a few months ago was right. But he was born being the high priest. Him and his mom, and you know what that symbol is, right? And in the high priest robe he says it is the way it has to be. Because this is, by the way, this is him. Notice the light sport going into him. These people surely do have different blood. And they're on a mission to bring their God and their Father to the forefront. And also this. Believe it, because it's true. Nah, I'm just being stupid.
I'm covered by the blood of Jesus.
John Blitch, his interview was fascinating.
What happened to him?
He believes that he was potentially abducted even as a child. He would see them outside his window just staring in. And then as an adult, he said, I would do this bike ride because the pressure of my job was just intense. This one bike ride, there are 5 hours unaccounted for. He said, my wife called the police, and it's almost like I just like closed my eyes and opened them. And he said it was just a little darker outside. And he said he was the most tired he's ever been. And then he went into a gas station, chugged so much Gatorade, walked out, and the police were like, hey, are you John or whatever? He's like, yeah. He's like, okay, well, you've been missing. Your wife called in. They're concerned about you. Can we give you a ride home?
And he couldn't remember anything besides that.
No, but then he talks about there was one night he was visited. He said the only way I could describe it was a giant praying mantis, but it could speak to me telepathically.
Tim Alvarino talked about him.
Yeah, he did.
Insectoland.
But he talked about this thing was speaking with him telepathically and basically along the lines of like, stop squirming, let us do our test. We can never hurt your soul. And then he woke up, said, I noticed on my arm 3 bruises inside my arm, like something had grabbed
It just doesn't make sense to me.
There are persons that are on the planet now that are the cycle breakers. They're the ones that are breaking the mold of their family line. They're the ones that are breaking the patterns that came through their family line. And the reason why they're able to do this is because they're the ones who actually came and actually have the ability to feel all the pain from their entire lineage. Everybody else was numbing and dumbing down the pain, numbing the emotional trauma, numbing it down, keeping it as a family secret, pretending it wasn't happening, hoping that it would disappear. And it was just being passed down the bloodline. What's happening now, which is part of the whole awakening process, is that there are a group of people that are here on the planet now that are feeling everything from their entire bloodline. And they're feeling it so they can break it, shut it down. It looks like a mental health.
And they said
they decided, hey. And to people who are looking on, especially in their family, they're going to say, oh, you are mentally unstable because you are not willing to suppress this pain like your grandmother and your great-grandmother and everybody else did. You are not willing to. What's wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. So we really have to be very careful about how we look at mental health within the context of the awakening. Because some of the people that are experiencing all of this is because they're the ones, buck stops right here. I am not taking this. I am not passing this on to my child. I am going to rebel. I'm going to act crazy until y'all.
Not anymore. It ends here and now in Jesus' name. Say it, folks. Wow, look at that. Wow. Magnificent!